Hello, dear partners and tutor. This is my fairy tale, The Magical Fairies and the Traveler, a fairy tale by Jimena Galeano. Once upon a time, in a distant town, the existence of three magical fairies who lived within the thick forest was heard talking among its inhabitants. There were so many rumors that were said, and in so many ways that no one dared to visit that place. One day, a traveler who came to town to visit his uncle, a well-known local grocer named Manuel, and who had a grocery store near the church, decided to go into the forest to find out for himself all those rumors that used to say. Mainly the women of the town liked that the fairies were the ones that caused their husbands to feel happy more than usual after having seen them in the deepest part of the forest. One day at dawn, and even with the full moon set over the sky, the traveler began his journey to the sinister forest in search of the three magical fairies, and at the same time on his way he wondered, what is special about these fairies? What is the mystery of the forest? Why do the husbands of the village women act differently? Will they have powers? Why are they townspeople afraid to know the truth? There were so many questions that arose from his head that the traveler was determined to find out. When the traveler least thought about it, he was already inside the thick forest and suddenly he felt a lot of happiness in his heart. He remembered his childhood with his parents, his childhood friends, his school and even his first adolescent love. They were moments that one day the traveler made him feel very happy and then someone he would always remember. Once in the forest, the traveler decided to take a break, since he had walked many hours from the town to his destination, which was to find the magical fairies. He suddenly fell asleep from fatigue, and when we woke up, he realized that it was already night, and in the distance he saw a bonfire and heard songs of happiness. When the traveler approached, he realized that around the campfire three beautiful fairies dancing at a very sweet dance played by little pixies for them. The traveler very quietly behind a tree saw how they danced all night, always expressing his joy and in the company of the little men who manifested their happiness through the instruments they played. The traveler in a careless trip stumbled over the branches of the tree and hit his head. The fairies felt such noise and asked the pixies to stop the music to see what was happening. When the traveler realized that they were approaching, he tried to run, but this was impossible because of then grabbed his foot trailing, which prevented the traveler from fleeing, since deep down in his heart he was very afraid. Seeing them from the front, the traveler with fear apologized for observing them behind the tree, but he got a great surprise. The magical fairies, instead of shouting, anger mocked him for the great chinchon that perched on his head. Seeing this reaction, the traveler asked them, why are they teasing me? Am I funny to you? One of them said, no, you are not, but with that blood on your head, you were funny because you can see how deformed it is. After a few hours, the magical fairies invited the traveler to come to his house. Once there, they gave him all the necessary cord and cured the chinchon on his head. They also had dinner and drank wine until dawn. The next day the traveler slept pleasantly and got unhappy. So much was his happiness that he felt that it was if he were again a child and experienced things, games, detailed friends, and short. The leaves of the fires asked him, how do you feel today? The traveler replied, I feel as I am were a child again. She looked at him and fixed the eyes of her and said, You are my friend. You are a child with a good soul and good heart. You know why? Asked Elise of the fairies. The traveler said, why? Because the soul of a child never dies if you remember your best moments. For a moment the traveler was overwhelmed by sadness, but then he felt that happiness was greater than that, because the fairies filled his heart with infinite joy and forever. After this, the traveler decided to spend a long time with them in the forest, where he learned to value his family, his neighbors, friends, and relatives, and to help them solve their day problems. But one day I asked the magic fairies, why are the husband of the village woman happy after seeing you? The oldest of them replied, it will because in their homes they do not feel familiarity as they feel at the herding within this mysterious forest. The second of them said, perhaps because men are not so valued within the home for their effort and for bringing some sustenance. And the third of them replied, it is simple, traveling friends, because they, being for good men for their women, are the words men by nature maintains the spirit of a child, and that is why they are much happier than they, since they valued their time with the family, their children, neighbors, and friends without having the opportunity to make to shows around them. The traveler has left thinking everything that this beautiful and noble fairy says is true. But what is the mystery that can keep? He did not hesitate for a single moment to find out when at the end of the day realizes that Pharisees only transmitted positive energies no matter the situation. They solve everything with happiness with their heart. After spending several days in the forest, the traveler decides to return to the town to let its inhabitants know what happened. Upon arrival, the woman said him stranger and said hurtful things to him, but the traveler paid no attention and continued on his way to his uncle Manuel's house. Often interacting, smiling, he told his uncle, I am happy man because I keep nobility in my heart. The surprised gaze sighed. Son, how you become now? If until a few days ago you were grumbling about everything, were you selfish and never improperly served my clients? The traveler replied, now I decide to change for myself, not for others, and that makes me happy. Thus Uncle Manuel understood the magical fires did a miracle in him, which was to fill his heart with goodness. The end. Thank you very much.